All right, let's talk about something. A very specific, very modern behavior that a lot of us do, but maybe don't quite understand. The psychology of watching everything on social media, but almost never posting a thing yourself.
So let me ask you, and be honest, does this sound like you? You see everyone's stories. You know what your friends ate last night. You know where that old classmate is on vacation. You are completely in the loop. But your own profile, it's basically a ghost town. No new pictures, no life updates. You're just watching.
Now, what's really fascinating is the difference between what people might think and what's actually going on. You know, someone might see that behavior and just slap a label on you. Oh, they're shy or insecure, maybe even antisocial. But the psychological truth, well, that's often the complete opposite. It can be a huge sign that you're observant, self-sufficient, and actually have a really high emotional intelligence. So let's unpack that.
First, let's give this a name, a positive identity. The silent observer. See, this isn't about being afraid to post. It's about using social media for a totally different reason. The goal isn't to put on a show for everyone. It's to understand, to analyze, and to learn about the world and the people in it.
And this really shows the two different approaches perfectly. Most people are over there on the left side, the performance. They use social media as a stage to express themselves, get validated, and broadcast their life. But the silent observer? Nah, you're on the right. The observation. You use it as a window to understand, to analyze, and to learn. It's a completely different game.
And this right here gets to the absolute heart of it. Not posting doesn't mean you're not living. In fact, it usually means the exact opposite. It means you are so present, so caught up in your actual life, that the thought of stopping to document it for digital proof just doesn't even come up. You're too busy, well, living it.
This all comes from a core belief, a kind of mantra for the silent observer. Not everything needs to be shared. You know, in a culture that screams, share everything, this simple idea is actually a pretty powerful act of rebellion. It's about choosing privacy over public applause.
And there's a really solid logic behind this. Once you post something, you've kind of lost control of it. It's not really yours anymore. It's out there on the world, totally open to being judged, taken the wrong way, and misinterpreted by who knows how many people. The silent observer gets this and decides that their peace of mind is worth way more than the post.
So let's be crystal clear about something. This isn't hiding from the world. It's about protecting your inner world, you know, those real, unfiltered moments, from the wild and unpredictable court of public opinion. It's a form of self-preservation.
And this all boils down to where you get your self-worth. I mean, just look at this chart. For a silent observer, look at where the value comes from. And now look at that tiny, tiny little sliver for online validation. See? Your sense of self is built on a solid foundation of real stuff, not on likes and comments. And that is a sign of true emotional independence.
Okay, so now let's talk about the observer part of the name, because this is where a real superpower comes in. As a quiet watcher, you're not just mindlessly scrolling. You don't just see what people are posting. You see why they're posting it. You see the subtext, the motivation behind it all. The need for a little validation, the quiet call for attention, or maybe even the genuine unvarnished joy. You're reading the stuff most people just scroll right past.
This observant eye, it just picks up on everything. You notice the weird inconsistencies between a caption and the photo. You could totally tell who's trying just a little too hard to curate a perfect life. And, just as important, you can spot who is genuinely, truly happy. It's like you've developed a sixth sense for online human behavior.
So, to put it simply, while everybody else is busy being a content creator, you're busy reading between the lines. While they're performing on stage, you're in the audience, analyzing the whole show and gaining a much, much deeper understanding of what's really going on.
And let's be honest, social media is, in so many ways, a competition. A competition for attention, for relevance, for who's having the most fun. The silent observer just makes a conscious choice. They don't lose the race, they simply step off the track. They refuse to play a game where the prizes aren't really worth winning.
And this is all built on one profound, simple truth. Real life doesn't need an audience to be valid. A beautiful moment is just as beautiful whether you post it or not. A happy memory is just as happy without getting a bunch of likes. Your life is for you, not for your followers.
And you know what? Stepping out of that race comes with some very real benefits. I mean, look at this. By not constantly putting your life up against someone else's curated highlight reel, you just naturally experience less anxiety, less comparison, and way less pressure to keep up.
The mental health rewards are huge.
So what this all means is that you have flipped the power dynamic. For so many people, the platform controls them. The algorithm dictates what they see, how they feel, what they post. But for the silent observer, it's just a tool. You use it as a window, not a stage. You control it. It doesn't control you.
So if this has all been resonating with you, I want to talk directly to you for a second. In a world that is so loud, that screams for attention, it can be really easy to feel like your quietness makes you invisible. But you need to hear this. You are not invisible.
And you might also feel that by not playing the game, you're somehow becoming irrelevant. That is absolutely not true. Your relevance is not measured in likes or shares. It's measured in the depth of your real-life friendships, in the good conversations you have, and in the quiet impact you have on the actual people in front of you.
What you're doing is actually something incredibly wise. You are protecting your energy. You are choosing where to put your focus, your emotions, and your time. And in the world we live in today, that is a rare and powerful kind of self-care.
So, I'll leave you with this question to think about. In a world that rewards being loud, that's always telling you to shout, what power have you, the silent observer, found in being quiet? Your answer to that might just be your greatest strength.